Natural surveillance. So again, more than just lighting and cameras, there's a lot of different aspects of natural surveillance that you could utilize. And you really want to maximize the ability to see what's going on in your area, which in turn will help discourage crime. So we talked about landscaping and its planning, all of its planning to promote the natural surveillance and natural access control. So now with lighting and some of these other means, you're going to be able to have that natural surveillance from inside or outside your business, or possibly from neighboring structures, businesses, and people passing by. So I love this comparison. This is the same alley, nighttime versus daytime. And this is a great comparison. I love how they gate off that alley at night. And there's no way for anyone, because they've made the gates so tall, there's no way for anyone to be able to crawl over the top or crawl underneath. I would want to ensure though that during the daytime, it's those one-way windows. So people that are in the alley can't see into your business, but your employees can see out. And that's just to offer that natural surveillance of the alley. This business in the city of Langley is a great example of good lighting. Now, lighting is very dependent on your space. And again, residential lighting is very different from industrial lighting. But there's so many things to consider. What type of lighting you're going to use. Are you going to use motion sensors or strobe lights? Lots of things to consider. One thing I do want to point out is that window signs, any covering on your windows should not be more than 15% of the window. And you want to allow for clear visibility from the store to the street and the sidewalk, or even into your business. And just also note that there's bollards right in front of this business, and that's to help control vehicle and pedestrian access. Great example of a very well lit building. And what I would like to see here is just some bollards out front, and that would help control a vehicle jumping the curb, potentially onto the sidewalk or into the business. This is a great example of a lit alley. So it's lit up enough that you can see your surroundings, but not that there's a lot of light trespass or light spilling and that you almost lose your night vision. So it does offer enough lighting for that natural surveillance. And you do see that natural surveillance can be offered by that business that's over top the residence that's over top of that business. So anyone that's occupying that area can look out if they hear anything or see any sort of glare, and they can offer that surveillance and utilize a phone call to the police if necessary. Blind spots also need to be considered. So the picture on the left is your typical grocery-like shelving. It doesn't permit for easy viewing by employees over top, and it's going to potentially cause blind spots and potential problems for your camera system. Definitely something to take into consideration when you're placing your cameras. So the other two pictures, the one in the middle and on the right, they're just examples of shorter or see-through shelving that you can still use to display your items, but it's going to allow for easier surveillance of people in your store. And really be aware of exterior blind spots. They should be considered when you're putting up your lighting or your cameras to ensure coverage. Exterior blind spots could permit someone to lay in wait as you or your employees exit your business. Camera systems. Lots to talk about with cameras, but what I really want to discuss is that you want to ensure you're purchasing a camera system with high quality resolution. That's the most important feature for your camera. If that image you're capturing isn't clear enough to obtain a good picture of the person's face, there's no way that we as the police are going to be able to attempt to identify that individual. And if we can't make the identity, we can't use that image to forward to Crown Counsel, and we won't be able to use it in any sort of criminal proceedings. Definitely, if you're making the investment for cameras, you want to ensure that you're getting that high quality resolution. great example of camera placement. Again, I want to make sure that that camera is going to be able to withstand the elements. There's enough lighting in the area that it's going to capture a usable image. And then I'm also going to want to double check that the camera placement is going to capture an image of the face to allow for identification and not just the top of someone's head. And I don't know if there's additional cameras or anything else, but just something to take into consideration when you're placing your camera system. Know your neighbors. Neighbors and other people accessing the business area are going to offer a lot of natural surveillance for you. Langley City is great at holding community functions, and it's bringing not only people from outside of the business area in, but it's also going to promote and include people that do live within that business core. And that's really going to really have residents in the area buy into the notion that this is their community and they want to also defend their community. It'll allow you to get to know other business owners, maybe some of their security practices, what's worked for them or what hasn't, and the ability to join business groups like the Downtown Langley Business Association. All of this offers a great opportunity for even beyond networking. So here we've got a building with great camera placement. I would just question like who is renting this building, and is there a reason why it's almost that fortified feeling?